Nick, I'm gonna start saying this. So good to see you wearing One Life Club t-shirt.
Oh, mate, I love the community. I'm grateful to be a part of it, to be honest.
And I always wear bloody t-shirt myself, One Life Club. And today, is one of the days that actually I'm wearing a collar shirt instead of a t-shirt. But so good to have you as a member, and so good to have you as a part of our community. I always get excited. We were just talking about our community before, and I get excited about community because I feel like the members we have are becoming kind of part of our little family. And as we are growing, in amazing members, I feel like it's just starting to be like a real family community in there. People are caring about each other. And if people have ideas, other people are commenting, which is also freaking phenomenal. Now, I want to say that you're in an interesting business.
Mm,
Stone.
yeah, natural
Extremely
stuff.
great, Stone. And your business is based in Sydney, correct?
Correct.
And we just quickly before we started this podcast, you guys are opening your second showroom, correct?
No, this is our fifth.
That's your fifth showroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So basically five different locations.
Correct. Yes.
Now, you've been in a business yourself for how many years? And actually, what, if you can exactly tell me what you do so our audience can get to know who Nick
Yeah,
is and
I
your
understand.
journey.
So I work in the family business and I've been there 6 years and the business has been going 25 years. So my old man who started the business in 1999 and then slowly built it up, built it up, built it up. And when I joined, we had one location. We just had one warehouse. And then in the first couple of years, I was just learning. I wanted to grow. I didn't know how. And then over time, you join these business groups, you learn from other people. And it's like, how do we've worked out as a very location based business. So if we're based in the West, people in the East don't want to travel to the West to purchase from us.
And you,
And
you're, you're kind of selling the product that people physically want to see as well.
correct. Yeah, that's one of the next thing it was going
Like
to say.
I know when I'm selecting anything for my own home, doesn't matter, even if it's, right behind me, I got special timber that I'm putting on the ceiling on my own home. Yes, you
Yeah.
can see everything online, but I need to see samples full stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, correct. So like our product, like you were saying, is very touch and feel. So you can sell it online, but we don't recommend it. It's just something that people want to touch and feel and be there to experience it. Because what's in pictures might be different to what they see in real life. So yeah.
And so working in a family business and
Yeah.
scaling it from one to five,
Yeah.
because your dad that you joined his business, he's been running it his way. What do you think is the best? And a
Yeah.
lot of times our parents, they might establish something and they're happy. I mean, why do you want to grow? What's the point of opening two, three, four, five? How
Yeah,
did
correct.
how did that transformation go from actually having one location go and make the business five times bigger?
So my so my father, he always had the idea that he wanted to. It's just he got to a point in his life where he was happy where he was and he didn't want to take on more risk. And the hassle of opening a showroom, will it work, the staff, the
Yes.
investing in the showroom. So I came and I was like, let's give it a crack.
Yes.
And he was always excited for the journey. So
Yeah.
he was like, the ups and downs, the things that don't work, the things that work, the hiring of staff, the firing of staff, the products that work, the products that don't work, different markets, different products work in, which you learn once you enter that market.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh, the clientele in each different market, they're all operate or they expect certain level of
Yeah.
quality and service. And yeah, it's been a interesting journey for sure. Like we just keep you grow as soon as you have a little bit more cash. Like let's do another one. Let's do another one. Like like Simon is always saying like delay. The more you delay the payoff, the delay. Let's see how it can go. So we're still in that slowly. Like we're growing at a steady pace that is something that
I
I'm
just I just
excited
had
about.
I just had a conversation with Sam, one of our members, and I interviewed him today. And we were talking, some people probably like your dad in the past, and I open one location and have one location for let's say 20 years. So every year they'll be making, similar sales, could be, let's call it $5 million in sales, and they might be making $1 million. And they're living a good life. They're taking money off the table all the time because they established a business. But when you are constantly growing, yes,
Mm,
you are making money from one location, but then you're investing that money to expand your business, and then you're making more money out of two businesses, and you're expanding to invest again. So that is constantly chasing. Yeah, you are making money, but you constantly keep investing money, which keeps you on your toes as well. Because
yeah,
the thing is, if you don't expand, then your competitors might. So is that pressure? How far do you push yourself?
yeah, yeah. So if you're not growing, you're dying, right?
If you're not growing, you're dying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, you want to be attractive business as well. And only way you're gonna be attractive and sustain is really, to be honest, to be growing. Because I always say, if I don't grow, my competitors will,
Correct.
and if
Correct.
they grow, they can actually affect my business as well. What's the biggest challenge in your business?
For us is I would say winning over new clients. So a lot of our business is repeat business from landscapers and builders, but to win over a landscaper, the loyalty that they have with their existing suppliers is massive. So it could take me 2, 3, 4, 5 years to win over a client. They normally The only reason they will switch is if their current supplier either gives them bad quality or bad service, or the price is
So the
exponentially.
secret is, you have to be nurturing that potential client, for over time, over 1, 2 years.
Yeah,
Because if something does happen, you want to make sure that that client, you're the first person that he calls. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
in real estate, we say that, let's say, I want to target a good real estate agent to join my business. But if he's happy where he is,
mm,
you can't push him to join tomorrow, but all you have to do is keep relationship with him, because if
yeah,
something ever happens in 2 years between him and the other company, he thinks of me first.
yeah. Correct. So that's what we. It's just a nurturing, staying top of mind, adding value, like constantly trying to help them out where you can with the amount of contact you have with them. I guess the minimal contact without pissing them off.
Yeah, of course, of course. How do you have any kind of balance when it comes to private life and work?
Yes, I do. So
You're smiling. That means like you have bullshitting. It's like, I got
no,
no
because I,
life.
I know you work 16 hours a day, so I probably work half. I do 9. I do like Monday to Friday. I work, full-time hours, like Monday to Saturday.
Yes,
Uh, but for me, like in my business, I feel like if there was more work for me to do after hours,
yes.
I would do
You do
it.
it.
Because like my clients, I'm in sales, so my clients after 3, 4 o'clock, I can't call them.
Yeah, they knock off.
Yeah, so I work my ass off between those hours, and then I do enjoy my time off, like that one day,
Yes.
my exercise, my hobbies. But I feel like if I work 16 hours a day, like it's not. I mean, for me, it's not all about the money.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I enjoy the time, like the little bit of time off that I get, and yeah. So
For me, it's definitely not about the money, because I got no fucking time to spend it
yeah,
when you just work. But I tell you one thing, you're definitely right when you say, Nick, if you work 8 hours, you actually work 8 hours.
mm,
You know what I mean? Some people, they're in the office for 20 hours a day, but they're actually productive for 30 minutes. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not how many hours you also work, it's how productive you
yeah,
are as a person in your business. Do you know what I mean? Because you can be just staring at your computer and reading emails and doing, shit work as well. It's all about how productive you are and how you actually use your time wisely, which is more important than anything. What's looking for the business next 5 years?
uh next 5 years. I haven't thought 5 years ahead because in the last 4 years we have changed so dramatically. So the previous say 10 years, it's kind of been steady, steady, steady. In the last 4 years, opened we've opened 4 new stores. We moved warehouse for the first time in 15 years. So it's all happened in the last 3, 4 years. So like in the next 5 years, who knows? I kind of look 1 or 2 years ahead because we have ideas, and then obviously, things change. Like you put a business plan in the next year, who knows what happens? Like things
Yes.
can change all the time. Like you see a new opportunity, you're like, oh, let's do that, and that'll change your plan a little bit more. But I'd say we'd stick with the showroom model and just keep expanding in the next few years
It's
and try
very
and
hard. It's very hard to have a clear um, uh, model over next 20 years because in business, you want to go straight, you feel like you know direction of where your business is going to go, how fast you're going to grow and everything else. But then you've been thrown curveballs all the time and different opportunities to come. So instead of going straight, you end up going left to get to the same destination you want.
yeah,
Being any kind of business owner, you just don't know where the business is going to go over time. I mean, it's like pouring glass of water on top of the mountain. That water is going to find its own way to the bottom of the mountain, but how it gets there, you
yeah.
only God knows.
And if you asked me 5 years ago, if you told me 5 years ago where I'd be today, I would be astonished,
No,
to be
no
honest.
way.
Like it's crazy, like the belief and all that sort of thing you learn in business, the challenges and like people you talk to. It's like you set a goal and like you work out how to get there. Like you may not know at the beginning, but you find your way there, right? If you really believe in yourself
Yeah,
and
of
your
course.
team and your yeah and what you do. So
You work with your family.
yes, me and my father.
What are the biggest challenges working with your family? I have my brother and my dad that work with me,
Yeah. So the first couple of years I was just learning the business, first year, 2 years, and then slowly because before I joined the business, I was in project management, so construction. So I dealt with the trade. I learned how to deal with them, the guys that you know,
which is probably a good thing that you did. You went away from the family to actually do business elsewhere, do work elsewhere. I mean, so you can
yeah,
actually see how easy or how hard it is to work somewhere else. And
yeah,
then you probably learn that it's actually harder to work with your family because they're pushing you to another level all the time because obviously everybody's so invested in a business.
yeah, yeah. So at the time, like I learned about project management when I went and I joined a business as completely sales, but in the construction industry. So I kind of understood the installation and what takes place in sort of that dynamic.
Yes.
So the first 2 years I was just learning, and then the third year I was like I would have my own ideas, but then being my father and the experience that he has, it's like the old ideas versus the new ideas. Like
Yes.
different ways to market, different way to social media, like tracking like your marketing and your sales and where they come from. And it was just the biggest challenge is just old ways versus new ways. Like I'll have my way and he'd have his way. And because he's got the experience and he doesn't believe in it, then he would trump it
Yes.
for a certain amount of time until you just got to keep it's just pushing and pushing and pushing and say, look, we need to do this, we need to do this. And as much as that's a challenge, it's also a blessing in terms that he's got all the experience. So when I come in with new ideas, he would have his own perspective on it.
Yes. Yes.
um yeah, it's a blessing and a challenge in its own way.
I think working with anybody, specifically in the family, is just so crucial to understand, the path that the business is taking and everybody to be on the same path and have a same vision.
Yeah,
And end of the day, even if there are disagreements, they're kind of not a bad disagreements because everybody wants what's the best for the family and for the business as well. We just have a different views.
yeah. Like we're definitely all got pulling in the same direction. It's just how we get how that direction sometimes is let's go left or let's go right.
Yes. And
Yeah.
specifically when you're working with the, older generation as well, like my father as well, so for them to, their risk appetite is a lot smaller. I mean, one, they're at the stage and age in their life where, they don't have to take big risks
Yeah.
anymore and they want to slow down while you actually want to go and climb
Yeah.
and full stop. You know what I mean? Question for you. What is your hobby? You said you got hobbies as well. What it is that you enjoy doing when you're
Uh,
working?
well, apart from being obsessed with the business, I'm obsessed with playing soccer. So,
Talking my language.
Yeah, so in the last, but I've been struggling with injuries in the last few years, so it's like trying to get out a full season and like actually win something. Like that's my like along with the business, that's the goal that's equally as high in my sort of life at the moment. But football, so, like yeah, soccer and the business, exercise in general, and family, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, just wanting to.
And from memory, you're not married yet.
Not married yet. Yeah, still single. Yeah,
We need to find you a wife
yeah.
first, and then we'll get that sorted. It's
But
so good to have you as a part of our community, and I always get excited when all of our members are actually communicating constantly with each other as well. And now we're actually going to be working on placing all the members in their own groups as well, which is going to be so epic. And we got 3-day in-person event coming on the
yeah,
Gold Coast. Now that's going to be on another level. So definitely look forward to seeing you again in person.
I'm excited.
It's been
When's that?
nothing. It's been nothing but pleasure always talking to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Emil. It's been great. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it.
Thanks, buddy.
All
Talk soon.
right. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.